Good morning, muy buenos días a todos los que nos están escuchando y viendo en esta bonita mañana, this lovely Wednesday morning. My name is Jessica Gallego. I am the program director with Circles of Peace, and I am very excited to be here with very important and friendly faces that I have here around. And today, as you know, it's May, so we have some information for Mental Health Awareness Month. Yes, we do. And also, I'm here in representation from the Mental Wellness Alliance, which started back in February 2024. So we already have a year, and this alliance started because we wanted to do a lot of things together and not overwhelm you as the community. So I'll let the people here introduce themselves, and we're gonna start over here.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brenda Sanchez. I'm the Executive Director with Southeast Arizona Health Education Center.
Thank you, Brenda, for being here.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jose Luis Robles. I'm the Criminal Justice Liaison with Penal Council. We provide behavioral health and mental health treatment services for our population.
Thank you, Jose.
Hi everyone, my name is Kayla Navarro de la Cruz, and I am one of the epidemiologists with our county health departments, and I've been starting to work more with our mental health and substance use programs.
Thank you, Kayla.
Hi, good morning. My name is Blanca Costa. I'm the Executive Director for Circles of Peace, and I'm so glad to be here celebrating May as a Mental Health Awareness Month. So thank you for the invitation. Thank you, We Love Nogales.
Yes. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. And if you're watching us live, leave a comment there, say hi to us, wave, say something. Ask us questions, because we're happy to answer them, because we know this topic is extremely important, and sometimes we don't know who to ask those questions to. So the experts here that we have here today, they'll be happy to answer any question that you'll be posting or commenting in Facebook, Instagram, and even TikTok. So thank you, Edgardo, We Love Nogales, for all your support. And the Mental Wellness Alliance, like I mentioned before, it's more than 5 organizations. We have Mariposa Community Health Center, we have the fire department, we have the Nogales Police Department, and we're all just working together to serve you. Okay, so as Blanca mentioned, and we're all mentioning, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. So why is Mental Health Awareness Month important to us? Why is it important to us, Brenda?
So our communities were heavily impacted with COVID, and that we're still dealing with the aftermaths. And something that we're finding is that folks' mental health was one of the areas that most became vulnerable with social isolation, with working from home, working from school, and this new normal that we have post-pandemic. We're definitely seeing those long-term effects on the mental and well-being of our communities. And additionally, agencies that we serve the community, we work with community members, our team members are also having to carry the weight of community members and the hardships that they're going through. And so I feel that at CHEC, that's something that we try to lead by example, that we want to make sure that our team members' mental health and wellness is taken care of so that they can also continue to do the great work that they do in the communities. So, I mean, there's many reasons, and I'm sure that the rest of the group has other reasons as to why mental health is important in our community.
Awesome. Would you like to share something on what your team does for your staff?
Yeah, so before we implement any activity in the community, we always try and practice it within the team, like kind of do a trial run. And then that way, when we talk with community members, we can talk from our own personal experience of I know personally something that I use is finger holds. I get really nervous in public speaking, and so I have learned that holding certain fingers help me kind of with anxiety. And that's something that I've shared with my team, and now that's a handout that we give at most of our health events around mental health. So I feel that leading by example, then that way when community members ask us about, well, why am I going to do it if you're not doing it? Then we can also share our own personal experiences, and I feel that that reduces the stigma that we have in our community around mental health if we ourselves are also vulnerable about the hardships.
I love that, and I love that you do the trial before going into the community, and that's very important for the community to know that we do take into consideration what you're feeling, what you're doing, and even our own point of view. Sometimes they might think, oh no, they don't go through that. But we all do. We all do. So
We're all human.
we're all human and we're all trying our best. So thank you for that, Brenda. Jose.
So we are a community that supports mental health,
Uh-huh.
and I think mental health awareness is important to normalize mental health conversations and reduce stigma as well.
Normalize.
I think that's very important for our community here. Also, we provide a long list of services, including all types of disorders, psychotic disorders, bipolar disorders, anxiety disorders. People would fear exposure of coming to ask for support to receive behavioral health services or mental health treatment for this. But we try to do it as precautious as possible. You know, we respect confidentiality.
Yes.
There are ways to get this going without feeling those fears, feeling that stigma. So that's what we're here for, is just to talk about how we can make this better for everyone who's in need of these services.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Could you elaborate on the fear that you're mentioning?
Going back to stigma, it's services that people don't like others to know about that they're receiving. Now we're at a point where we can offer telemed services, where they can attend their appointments from home, and that way they can eliminate, like I said, that fear of exposure. Also, some people just have difficulty with ambulating, transportation, mobility. So we're trying to work things out. You know, it's 2025, trying to accommodate to everybody's needs. Of course.
And it's true, like Pinal Hispanic Council, they're trying our best to support your needs and whatever it could be that they could support you with. So thank you for that, Jose. And Kayla, what does mental wellness mean in the context of our Santa Cruz County community?
It would definitely be making sure that our community is taken well, we take care of them well in all
Okay.
areas, whether that's their emotional health, spiritual, faith, mental health. So making sure that they know there's resources here, and if not, they know who to reach out to and who can guide them in the process. But just making sure that they know that there's a group of people that we're offering support to them to help them be resilient and help them get through the tough times that they may be experiencing.
I love that. Makes my heart very happy to hear that, and I hope it's making you feel that way as well, because it is important. We're here to support you. We're here because we care. And is there anything you do specifically, or how do you ask for help so that others could see what Kayla Navarro de la Cruz does?
It's going to a trusted person or individual. In my case, it would be my husband. So just knowing who you can confide in and starting off there, because a lot of the times it just takes a moment to just step back and talk about it. And yeah.
I love that. Shout out to Kayla's husband for being there. We all have that trusted person. So thank you for being that person in everyone's lives. Blanca, what does mental wellness mean for you and for your agency?
Well, I think for me, it's as part of the community, Jessica, I think it's important to just be there, be in the community where we are needed, when I'm needed as a person. So, para mí la comunidad, y voy a hablar en español porque es una parte muy importante de nuestra comunidad, las personas que no tienen acceso a servicios mentales, tener un lugar donde se sienten seguros para ir, saber que estamos para ellos. Y en Círculos de Paz nos hemos preocupado mucho por eso. Tenemos puedo decir unos 5 años enfocados en la salud mental de la comunidad, y hemos colaborado con agencias como Pinal, Mariposa, CIGEC, aquí presente, el Condado de Santa Cruz, el Departamento de Salud, en mejorar nuestra comunidad y llevar un mensaje en donde estamos dispuestos a colaborar para ayudarte a ti. Los importantes no somos nosotros como agencias, la importante es nuestra gente. Y ahorita escuchándolos a todos se me vino la idea, ¿no?, de por qué una persona en nuestra comunidad puede pensar no hay servicios. Nos falta todavía educación, nos falta llegar a ellos. Entonces, para mí eso es lo importante, es tenerlos a ustedes, saber que estamos apoyándonos como una alliance, como una colaboración, y que el propósito es llevar el mensaje a la comunidad de educación, de prevención, de información, de entrenamiento, y saber que estamos aquí para ellos. Y sí hay servicios, se los garantizamos. Hay mucho que mejorar, pero para mí ser parte de Círculos de Paz es estar presente para ti, como comunidad, como miembro de la comunidad.
Muchas gracias, Blanca. Y creo que la comunidad el día de hoy se va a dar cuenta de todos los recursos y esas personas con las que podemos confiar, que es el mensaje que queremos dejar. En las actividades que hacemos, como mencionaba Blanca, yo creo que hacemos mucho y siempre están las 4 personas estas en todos los eventos que hay en la comunidad. Si nunca los han visto es porque no han ido, porque ahí sí, y toda la gente que hay, yo creo que todas las organizaciones que hay en el condado de Santa Cruz van a todos los eventos, siempre somos las mismas personas y queremos verlos ahí. A lo mejor lo que estamos haciendo ahorita no les atrae, pónganos en los comentarios, ¿saben qué si intentan hacer otra actividad? O podríamos tener una feria de recursos en el City Hall. No sé, pónganos ideas ahí y es algo que la alianza puede mejorar y para trabajar para ustedes. Ya me oigo como, como un comercial. Pero sí, la verdad, sí queremos escucharlos, sí queremos apoyarlos y sí queremos hacer todo lo posible para que ustedes puedan agarrar esos recursos que sí tenemos en la comunidad. Claro, hay cosas que podemos mejorar, pero siempre con su ayuda, con la ayuda de la comunidad. CIHEC, Brenda, what is CIHEC? ¿Qué es CIHEC? ¿Y qué hace CIHEC para poder hablar o tener esas conversaciones de salud mental?
So I'll do it in Spanglish. CIHEC es una organización que ha estado en Nogales por los últimos 40, ya vamos a cumplir 40 años en septiembre, entonces tenemos mucho aquí. Estamos atrás del hospital. Muchas veces es difícil de encontrarnos, pero estamos al final, atrás del hospital, en el estacionamiento, ahí se ve CIHEC. Y estamos ahí para la comunidad. Somos una organización que está basada en community health workers, en promotores de salud. Promotores de salud, como sabemos, somos miembros de la comunidad, que somos esa persona en la que confían personas. We're that trusted member in the community that really is there to serve folks in whatever capacity it is that they need. Our team of community health workers are from the community. They're all from Nogales, from Rio Rico, and from the different areas that CIHEC serves. CIHEC works in Graham, Greenlee, Cochise, Santa Cruz, and Pima County, so all of Southeast Arizona. And one of our biggest focuses for the past, I want to say about 3 years, has been mental health and mental well-being. We have our team. My team has gotten various different types of trainings. They've incorporated also their own lived experiences and being specifically like Nogalenses, de ambos Nogales. They understand the community and the barriers and assets that the community has, and the pride that comes with being from the community. And so our team listens to community members, and we do take that to heart. Lo que nos comentan en las ferias de salud, en nuestros comentarios también, en shout out to Elia, our social media manager. She does amazing. Los mensajes que nos mandan por Instagram, we're always checking of like, what other health resources do people need? And we try our best to incorporate them into the work that we're doing. And all of the materials that we provide are always going to be in Spanish and English. So if it's not at the table, ask us and we will send it to you through WhatsApp, through social media. We try our best to have everything in a way that is understandable, and that it's not a bunch of things to read. I know that whenever I go to events or conferences, si me dan un paquete, I'm not going to read it. I'm going to skim it and hope that I get the best out of it. But I know that my team really takes the time to make infographics and make documents as easy to read as possible, so that if you spend 30 seconds looking at it, you grasp the most important parts of the information. And then there's going to be links and other posts that have more in-depth information. But sometimes we just need that like small reminder of like, oh yes, I should reduce my time on TikTok. I should take 5 minutes out of the day to take a breather. And that I feel is one of the important parts, is that we can't overwhelm you guys as community members with all this information, because all of us are going to get burnt out with information. But I feel that entre todos nosotros, we're trying to find different avenues to get the information to you all. So, como dice Jessica, pónganos en los comentarios, what is the information that you want? What's the best way that we can get it to you? If it's through videos, if it's podcast, if it is still papers, is it the newspaper? Do people still read the newspaper? All of that information is super helpful for us to be able to get the information out.
I love that. And follow CHEG. They do have
Yes.
an amazing Instagram. And
At
we'll be
CHEG 1985.
1985 with great information, and they're always highlighting other organizations, which talks about the collaboration that we have in our community. Y sí, como dice Brenda, hagan caso a lo que les ponemos ahí. Ya. Si les está diciendo que ya no vean TikTok, ya no vean, pónganse límites, poquito, porque a veces nos hace reír, que también lo necesitamos. Dicen que para la salud mental la risa es la mejor medicina. Entonces, muchas gracias, Brenda. Salud. It's okay. It's okay. Final. José, ¿cómo pueden generar tu agencia o las agencias que están aquí presentes confianza con los miembros de la comunidad que pueden dudar en buscar atención en salud mental?
We have some people think twice before coming to our agency,
Okay.
and they are in need of guidance. They have relatives, family members who need services. We can guide them through the process until they become established clients from our
Okay.
agency. We have outreach specialists who go out and connect families and individuals with our services. I'm telling the community, don't be shy. Just come knock on our door. Contact any of our other partnership agencies so we can help you through the process. It sounds very complicated, but once we take those steps with you, everything starts falling into place.
Okay.
We've been here since 2010. Established Pinal in 2010 here in Nogales, but I believe, if I'm not wrong, and don't quote me on it, we've been providing behavioral health services since 1979.
Wow.
And we also work here in Southern Region. We help with a lot of the things that I do, or my forte is corridor treatments, which is involuntary treatments, mental health order treatments, where we have to get our family members to develop insight and awareness of their mental illness. So we follow a process where we legally mandate them to receive treatment with the support of county attorney's office, the judges, the courts. I'm really grateful to have everybody involved, the collaboration with Nogales Police Department, Santa Cruz County Sheriff's Department, Santa Cruz County Attorney's Office, the Superior Court Clerk's Office, Fire Department. Thank you, everyone, because you play a big role with the services that we provide. Also, I want to mention that, it shouldn't be a problem to seek mental health treatment, because the mind gets sick as well. So it shouldn't be seen like it was used to be before. Please, that's why we're having this monthly awareness of mental health. We just want to throw it out to you. Please seek support. We do have translated material. We do have professional and qualified interpreters who can help you if you are a monolingual Spanish speaker, or we offer support and services for diverse communities. That's why we work with a lot of implying cultural competence in this community.
Eso es lo que dice José, que no tengan miedo. No tengan miedo de dar el primer paso, de tocar en las puertas de Pinal Hispanic Council, de círculos, de CHEG, del Health Department. ¿Y qué les puedes decir, José? What could you tell the people that are viewing us right now or listening to us? Could they take the first step? What door could they knock on? And what is it going to look like?
Well, they can come knock on our door for guidance. And somebody else I forgot to mention is the crisis mobile team. They play a big role on following all these processes for people who need treatment and they don't acknowledge that. So kudos to the crisis mobile team, the crisis response team through Community Health Associates. We're very grateful to have them supporting our community. I believe, and everybody is aware as far as our agencies here in Mariposa, Circles of Peace, all the diversion programs from the court, the Behavioral Empowerment Court, the Drug Court, all these programs know about our agencies and they can relay the information and get you connected to us.
So, are there any support groups that people could go to in times of need, or for them to just talk about what they're going through, I don't know, in any of the organizations that we have here?
Yes, of course. I mean, some people are hesitant. That's why there are peer support agencies like HOPE. I also want to thank HOPE for being there. We need peer navigators who've been through similar experiences to the ones our clients are going through or potential clients are going through. They actually are a stepping stone to establish behavioral health and mental health treatment for our clients. They're very supportive. We meet with them. They present themselves to the court and provide reports about progress to our partnership agencies.
And shout out to all those agencies that are working hard tirelessly to provide those services to the community. Unidos somos más. Y se nota ese cambio. Gracias, Jose. Kayla, what mental health trends or data points are emerging locally?
And I do want to start off with the data that I'm going to share is from something new that we launched recently in the community. It's called Credible Mind. We did partner with them to create a mental health platform that is available to the whole community. We wanted something accessible. It's a mental well-being resource platform where you have access to different formats, whether it's you like reading articles, podcasts, apps, interactive activities, anything, any learning style, anything you like to engage with, you'll find it on there. So we barely launched it about a month ago, but I was able to pull some points that I wanted to share with everyone. Since our launch site, the age group that has accessed it the most has been the 13 to 24-year-olds and our 35 to 44-year-old population. The majority of them were female. 73.68% of them were female. 37.8% of our users accessed a resource, or 32% of them used some sort of list that it'll group certain topics or categories, so it gathers many resources onto one list. And our topics of interest that were accessed the most were our flourishing and languaging course, depression and anxiety, and we also saw a lot of interest that people sought out the topics of self-development. So a lot of people were very interested in how they can grow as a person, since a lot of people access the workplace wellness, intercultural empathy, compassion, leadership, and how to handle stress. And during our launch period, we did highlight, we wanted users to do a mental health check-in, but we also saw that a lot of people accessed a different assessment. A lot of people accessed, it was the depression and identifying, but in the workplace, if their off days were a sign of depression. So to us, that kind of tells us that even professionals are self-aware and they're trying to see how they can help themselves. And we're hoping that with this information, we're able to share it with our communities, with our initiative, just because it'll highlight what age groups or what topics people are accessing, so we can focus on the education geared towards that.
And we're going to put the link for the Credible Mind in the comments so that everyone could have access to it. And I think something very important with the Credible Mind is that it's easier to answer a few questions through your phone
Yeah.
and no one's watching you and you're like, okay, I could be honest, no one's gonna know. That's how it works, right? No one knows.
Correct. We at the health department, we only have access to the demographics. Sorry. So users are able to create an account through the website where they share their information, but none of their personable information is shared with us. By creating an account, they can save their progress with the mental health assessments, with any of the content that they engage with, it'll save on their profile. And they're also able to opt in for a newsletter. So they can get customized content through their emails, or just be able to go back to an assessment or something that they accessed. But yeah, we only get the demographics.
Wow. So like Jose was mentioning, the first steps, that could be a great option for you to start asking those questions, seeing how you're feeling, and then reaching out with other organizations to see how they can continue supporting.
Yes, and I did want to mention that on the site as well, there's different tabs, and we do highlight our community resources. So all of the local agencies here in Santa Cruz that are involved with mental health or some sort of support, they are linked on our website.
Thank you, Kayla. That's great. And like I mentioned, we're going to be putting it in the comments, and that's going to be linked directly to the Credible Mind.
Yes, you can find it at Santa Cruz County, az.crediblemine.com.
Wow. Thank you, Kayla. Blanca, ¿qué es Círculos y qué desafíos o fortalezas únicas ha observado usted como directora en nuestras familias locales con respecto a la salud mental? ¿Qué es lo que usted ve? ¿Qué es lo que su agencia ve aquí?
Jessica, pues tú eres parte de Círculos también y muy orgullosa del staff que tenemos. Círculos de Paz es una agencia sin fines de lucro que empezó hace 20 años aquí en la comunidad. Empezamos tratando violencia doméstica, usando justicia restaurativa, pero a través de este modelo y saber que funciona. Hemos avanzado y expandido nuestros programas en diferentes áreas. Ahorita Círculos de Paz colabora directamente con las cortes, principalmente con la Corte de Justicia, gracias al Condado de Santa Cruz, Judge Olais, por la confianza y por todos los jueces que han pasado a través de esta corte, porque hemos tenido la colaboración y el encargo de trabajar directamente con Recovery Court, también con Behavioral Empowerment Court, lo cual hace que nuestros clientes o los miembros referidos puedan encontrar los recursos de manera más fácil. Círculos de Paz no lo puede hacer todo. Tenemos peer supports, tenemos personas que dan tratamiento, tenemos behavioral health technicians, pero nuestra misión es ¿qué van a hacer cuando Círculos ya no esté ahí? Cuando su proceso judicial termine, ¿a dónde las personas pueden buscar ayuda? Entonces, ahí para eso están todas las demás agencias. Como dice Pinal, pues los dejamos con Pinal, con Hope, con Mariposa. Entonces, nuestro trabajo, al recibir más o menos 400 personas al año involucradas en servicios judiciales, nuestro trabajo es engancharlos con servicios de salud mental, servicios de abuso de sustancias. Pero lo más importante que veo yo es que las familias de estas personas, Jessica, llegan con nosotros también. Entonces ofrecemos grupos de apoyo para familias, tenemos grupos de jóvenes donde los jóvenes pueden encontrar un lugar seguro para hablar y no tienen que llenar ningún intake, no tienen que llenar ninguna encuesta, simplemente estamos ahí para crear un espacio seguro para ellos, ofrecer los servicios y ser ese primer escalón para que ellos encuentren otro lugar donde poder continuar con tratamientos o engancharlos, ya sea con servicios especializados en salud mental. También nos preocupamos mucho por la salud mental de nuestros empleados y para nosotros es muy importante, ¿no? Simplemente después de la pandemia, como decía Brenda, la salud mental de todos fue afectada y no podemos decir yo no paso por ansiedad o depresión, todos podemos y estamos vulnerables, expuestos a eso. Entonces entendemos que nuestros empleados cargan con mucho, ustedes hacen mucho, las agencias hacen mucho y Círculos de Paz, una de las cosas que tomó muy en serio fue llevar los 4 días de trabajo en lugar de 5 para mejorar la salud mental de los empleados. Entonces es algo que hemos visto que mejoró, el ambiente mejoró también, la salud de estar menos agobiados, ¿no? Todos tenemos mucho en nuestras manos, pero poniendo esa piedrita yo creo que de ayuda es importante, empezar por casa, empezar por la agencia. Otra cosa importante es la educación y la prevención que hacemos. Siempre estamos educando a nuestros miembros que es estigma, cómo accesar a servicios. Tenemos podcasts, tenemos muchas maneras de poder llegar con información, social media. Entonces, inglés, español, bicultural. ¿Qué más queremos, verdad? Entonces, ser parte de la comunidad donde nos necesitan aquí en Morley y saber que estamos ahí para ustedes. Gracias.
Gracias, Blanca. Y creo que todas las agencias aquí lo han mencionado, ¿no? Esa colaboración que hay entre agencias, entre la comunidad, entre las diferentes personas que quieren hacer una diferencia. Y creo que es lo que hace bonito nuestro condado. Aparte de todos los condados que trabajan con muchas iniciativas, muchas actividades, lo que nos hace diferentes es esa colaboración que tenemos, que trabajamos juntos, que todos vamos remando para el mismo lado, ya sea con diferentes iniciativas, propuestas de cada agencia y de acuerdo a lo que la capacidad que tiene cada agencia, pero siempre nos apoyamos. Sea la agencia que sea, yo sé que estamos ahí remando para el bienestar del condado de Santa Cruz. Entonces, muchas gracias. Creo que ya conocieron un poquito más sobre las agencias que tenemos aquí, CHEC, Health Department, Círculo Espinal. Y ahora pues también les queremos platicar qué hemos hecho, qué vamos a hacer, ¿verdad? Porque para eso estamos aquí, para ver el cambio y ser ese cambio que queremos ver. Blanca lo mencionó, el cambio empieza con uno. Siempre decimos, es que tienen que hacer eso, pero si no lo estamos poniendo en práctica, como mencionaba Brenda, no sirve de nada. Entonces, papás, si nos están escuchando, si quieren que sus hijos dejen el celular, el cambio empieza con ustedes también. Son mentiras, ahí van a poner los comentarios todos. Pero sí, el cambio empieza con uno. Y baby steps, creo que es algo que hemos estado mencionando mucho, ese escalón, baby steps, las plataformas que hay, las diferentes actividades o tools, herramientas que podemos usar para sentirnos mejor. Entonces, poco a poquito, no esperamos que de un día para otro ya hagamos cambios del 100%, no, todo es un proceso y lo bonito es que estamos aquí para acompañarlos en ese proceso. Entonces, la colaboración, the collaboration that we have here in our county. Can you share an example? La que lo quiera tomar. A ver, ¿quién quiere mencionar sobre la colaboración? Can you share an example of how working together has helped improve mental health access or outcomes?
Share. So over the past 2 years, CHEC has been working in collaboration with multiple agencies in Santa Cruz, including Mariposa, Pinal, now I'm blinking on all the names, Circles, with the health department, con todos, juntos con todos, on an NIH initiative, Proyecto Juntos. So over the past 2 years, we really have focused on assessing the barriers and assets to accessing mental and behavioral health services in Santa Cruz County. And to be able to do this assessment, CHEC would not have been able to get this information or even really hone in on what are the assets in the community, what are the barriers. And so jointly we've been able to come up with information from community members and the agencies that serve those community members. And now this, we have compiled a needs assessment, which anyone who is listening, if you nerd out like I do with needs assessments, reach out to us. We are happy to share this assessment with you all. This assessment is for the community. So again, if you like nerding out on assessments like I do, reach out to us as an agency who's serving community members, or even just as a community member who wants to learn more about what are the assets in my community, like what is it that agencies are doing. And so over the past year, we've compiled information, gathered it from community members, and now we've been able to analyze it and really hone in on, we know what the assets are, we know what the barriers are, but what does our community want us to focus on? And so the top 3 things that came up is access to healthcare in general, mental health, physical health, and that encompasses a lot of layers. So folks shared affordability. Are people able to actually, like, the resources exist, but are they able to financially access them? Are they eligible for insurance? Do they have barriers to getting insurance? Do they have transportation to get to specialized services who don't exist in Nogales? Is there providers who are here regionally who understand the culture of where people are coming from. If my vecina comes and talks about, pues me tomé un té y eso me va a ayudar para la ansiedad, is the doctor going to look at me like, you did what? Or are they going to understand que fui a Zazueta y que me compré este té y que sí me ayudó para mi ansiedad ese día? Like, those are the things that our community really talked about, that they want to be able to go see providers that understand where they're coming from and that won't give them that look of, what are you talking about? Care coordination was another thing that was brought up, which, as an agency who does care coordination, as does all of us here, I know that one kind of it hurt, because I know that we do great coordination, but I also know that there's room for growth. And our community is telling us they need more patient navigators, they need more community health workers, they need more peer support coordinators. But how do we get that to them? And how do we get them to where they are? Because if people don't know that the resources exist, then there's no one, they're not going to be able to find the person that does the care coordination for them. So that was another thing that was brought up in the assessment, is that there is, in some areas, maybe a lack of knowledge or limited knowledge as to what resources exist in the community. And this is exactly why we're doing this today, right? Because we know we're in the same meetings, right, every 2 weeks, and we know what resources exist, and we try our best to get that out to the community. But Santa Cruz is so big and so diverse, it's unrealistic for everyone to know what is going on. So that's something that has been brought up. As well as stigma. I know that we've talked about stigma, and Jessica mentioned we need to start within our agencies and address the stigma behind mental health, because then that's going to help us share it with our community members, have those awkward discussions that maybe en nuestras casas no se habla de salud mental. Yo sé que si yo en la mesa hablo de salud mental, es de que no la volteen a ver, ya va a empezar Brenda con sus cosas. Pero that's how you address the stigma from within. And I'm grateful for CHEC, and that they, as an agency, I've learned so much about how to be open and vulnerable about talking about my own mental health, because then that makes it so that my team feels comfortable talking about their mental health. Then it's this trickle effect, because nunca nos quitamos nuestra cachucha del trabajo. O sea, siempre, si estamos en la tienda y escuchamos que alguien está diciendo algo, pues, should I tell them? So I feel that is something that through this assessment, we've been able to really hound in and share. So again, if anyone wants to nerd out, please reach out to us. We are happy to share these resources, and this will also help us collaborate even more than we already are, so that we can align the things that we do with what the community has told us that they want us to align with.
I would like to elaborate on what you said. As far as making changes, we are trying to provide services for those individuals who work as well, or who have children in school, trying to do early services or late services to meet their needs. Also, as far as integrated care, we do a lot of collaboration with all the agencies here. And from my own experience, I've noticed that things have been improving within a jail setting for our inmates who are incarcerated. We've been providing lots of services for them. And everybody knows jail is not the place to rehabilitate someone. It's actually to incapacitate someone. So mental health, you decompensate in a jail setting. It's obviously social disconnection, family disconnection. So it's obviously that mental health is going to exacerbate by being there. So now we got correctional health. They're the medical team in the detention center. Reach out to us. We coordinate. We help those inmates get the help they need. And once they are released, we can help them re-enter the community safely. So I just want to mention that. Also want to emphasize, and talking about children, we do provide services for children as well. We have a great team there for children who are diagnosed with ADHD, autism, conflict disorders. So I can highly recommend to come knock on our door for any support that our little ones might need.
Sharing that, and I think we're going to be putting the addresses of each organization in the comments as well, so you know where to visit, because it's very important information that we are providing right now, but it's also, we know we're talking to you, and you might need that information, that help now, so don't be afraid to ask for help. You were mentioning about the jail. Do you also have support for the families of the individuals?
We do have family counseling without the client,
Okay.
just to help the families navigate through this, so they don't dwell on those negative thoughts, because it takes time and patience to overcome these challenges for inmates and for families. So we're there to support, and like I mentioned earlier, all the rest of the people who contribute to all this, which are the agencies and that I already mentioned earlier.
And as we're mentioning the collaboration within agencies, it's also collaboration within families. It takes a
course.
village. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to address any problem or any situation. So you're not alone, and you can't do it alone. And not one person can deal with a lot of things. So I love that. I love that you have family support, you have different activities, and we're all doing whatever we can to support you. So we'll be putting those links and addresses of each organization. But how could the community members get involved? I know we serve a lot of seniors, a lot of youth with community service hours. And how could we get them involved in these initiatives that we have?
I think it's making sure that they're staying up to date with like our social media platforms and websites, because we're always promoting our community events, the information, education, support groups, and us making sure that we're always sharing that with the community as much as possible, so everyone knows and is aware of everything that's going on in the community. And of course, I recommend and highly suggest that the whole community takes a look and checks out Credible Mind, just because you will find a lot of resources, but also if you're not ready maybe to reach out yet to an agency, you can learn about them, see what they're about, and then when you do feel comfortable, reach out to them.
Blanca, how could people get involved?
I think the information is there. So we as our agencies have worked very hard to bring the information to the people in the community, but also it needs for them to take the first step. Algo importante también es llevar la información en el idioma que necesitamos. Y nuestra comunidad hispana obviamente necesita saber que como agencias hablamos su idioma. Estamos ahí para ellos en el idioma que quieras, ya sea inglés, español. Estas agencias tienen siempre las personas adecuadas para servir. Que no haya las barreras de no voy a ir porque a lo mejor no tengo los documentos legales, o porque no tengo aseguranza, o porque no hablo el idioma. So we are there, we are here for you. Y yo creo que como agencia lo único que queremos es seguir llevando la información. Barreras podemos decir que siempre va a haber, pero yo creo que las más importantes, como las culturales, el no tener acceso a seguro, con eso también podemos ayudar. Hay siempre una ayuda para las personas que nos están escuchando, que tengan algún problema en accesar servicios y no has logrado llegar a ellos. Mándanos un mensaje y nosotros podemos acomodarte con la agencia que te va a dar los servicios necesarios. Okay.
Hagan caso. Nos está diciendo Blanca que nos digan qué es lo que necesitan. Ya está la información, ya están actividades, ya hay eventos que están en puerta. CIGEC tiene un evento en Patagonia, entonces estamos en todo el condado. Estamos presentes. Ustedes nomás díganos qué necesitan. Y algo que se ha mencionado durante todo el programa, que a lo mejor dicen, ok, ¿qué tanto nos van a decir? Ya sé, es mucha información. Dijeron que íbamos a regresar en 3 meses para dar más información. Ya estamos amenazando con volver. Pero estamos mencionando la cultura. nuestra cultura es muy específica, muy diferente a las demás y me gustó mucho eso que comentaba Brenda, que sí me tomé un té para la ansiedad y que los especialistas no nos vean como de que, ay, pues, ¿cómo hiciste eso? Sino que es algo que muchas veces nos sentimos en confianza con nuestro círculo cercano. Si algo hicieron que funcionó, lo vamos a querer aplicar nosotros también, que es parte de... Y creo que es muy importante poder compartir eso con los especialistas, que no se sientan con vergüenza o miedo de no poder decir la realidad de las cosas y lo que están haciendo. Es algo también del estigma que estábamos mencionando. Entonces, cuando hablen con un especialista en cualquiera de las agencias, los profesionales van a estar ahí para escucharlos y para hacer lo mejor que pueden para apoyarlos sin juzgarlos. Entonces, no tengan miedo. Pero ya mucho hablar de barriers, de cosas que están pasando en nuestra comunidad, de la colaboración. ¿Qué es lo que queremos de la comunidad? ¿Qué es una cosa, José, que le gustaría que los miembros de la comunidad hicieran por su salud mental en este mes?
If possible, share their support stories regarding mental health. I want to thank We Love Nogales because community presence, like we're doing right now, helps people reach out to us. And you'll see our logo in community events. And I want to thank you for the invitation.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's my recommendation. Share your positive stories, successful outcomes, which will be possibly passed on if we're not violating HIPAA, of course, so it can engage people in taking part in all these services as well.
Brenda, ¿qué le pide a la comunidad?
I think something really important is to realize that all of us are human, and the person that you're standing next to at the grocery store in line, maybe they are having the worst day of their life, and you just smiling to them could be the difference between them still being here and them no longer being with us. And I feel that that's something that in society we get, we're all super busy. We're all getting pulled in all the directions and having to pick up kids from school, and that I have a deadline. Did I get a parking ticket? Did I put coins in it? We're all just so busy, but we also need to step back and just be in the moment and realize that we're all just living life to the best of our ability, to be nice to yourself and be nice to others. Because if you're nice to yourself, then you're able to also be nice to the person that's behind you in the grocery store. And so I think that is one of the things that you don't have to pay for. You don't need a booklet. You don't need someone to teach you that. You just need to be able to step back, live in the moment, and just be a nice human and smile to the person next to you. So I think if we could practice that right now, if you're standing next to someone, smile. And it's contagious. So definitely.
Thank you, Brenda. That's a beautiful message to leave the community with. Blanca, ¿qué le quiere pedir a la comunidad o qué va a hacer usted?
Yo creo que, siguiendo, ¿no?, lo que dicen mis compañeros, continuar siendo parte de ya los grupos en los que estamos envueltos, no tirar la toalla, seguir trabajando. A veces sí parece difícil y como que dices, ay, ¿cuándo? ¿Cómo? Pero sé que tenemos una comunidad unida en donde el mensaje cuando llega funciona. Entonces, lo que yo le quisiera pedir a la comunidad es atiendan al llamado cuando hay pláticas, cuando hay talleres, cuando hay entrenamientos. No saben el esfuerzo que se pone cuando las agencias trabajan juntas para poner estos entrenamientos o estos talleres para ustedes y nomás 4 o 5 personas llegan. Entonces, escuchen cuando pongan atención a esos llamados de entrenamientos, de talleres. Y siguiendo un poquito con lo que dice también Brenda, empieza por mí. Entonces, validar que soy un humano, que yo también tengo problemas de salud mental, porque puede ser ansiedad, depresión, angustia, lo que estés pasando, validarlo y que ese mensaje positivo, como dice José Luis, lo lleves a alguien más. Decir, yo yo siento lo mismo, he pasado por esto, mira, esto me ha ayudado. Y buscar ayuda profesional. Es bueno la cultura, es bueno tener el apoyo de tu familia, es bueno el tecito de, no sé, de 7 anís o de no sé de qué, pero busca ayuda profesional cuando sea necesario. Hay muchos recursos que te pueden ayudar.
Kayla, ¿con qué quieres dejar a nuestra audiencia? Tenemos miles y miles escuchándonos.
Yeah, during
Sí, sí, sí.
during this Mental Health Awareness Month, I think it lines up perfectly with some other events going on in our lives. So I just really want the community to slow down, take some time to really enjoy the moments, just because, especially right now, it's graduation season,
Yes.
life-changing events. So if you have your support system, your family, really show up for them.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just really important that when you have a support group to really be there for each other. So, yeah, just please be there for each other. Take some time to support each other. Take a break. Do something that you love, whether that's walking, reading, learning something new. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for listening.
So the message that we leave you with is share positive stories, share what you're going through with others. Be kind, be nice, smile. You don't know how far that goes. And show up. Be present in the people you love's life. And when there's an activity or something going on in the community, go. Que no les dé vergüenza. Ustedes ahí lleguen, van a conocer a alguien. Y siempre hay mucha información, muchos goodies, tools to help you with whatever you're going through. So show up. That's what we leave you with today. Thank you so much for listening on this podcast. We'll be back in September because it's also Mental Suicide Awareness Month. So we'll be back for September and we'll have more information for you. So if you have any questions or any other suggestions that we could start implementing in Santa Cruz County, feel free to let us know. We are happy to help, and thank you so much for listening. Tomorrow needs you. So gracias a todos los que nos escuchan. Nos vemos pronto.